of musical chairs with me. Cheer up, Charlie. And today we have the amazing, the wonderful. He sang his heart out on the X Factor. He is knocking at your door. He is ringing your bell. Johnson,
everybody. Hello. What an introduction. Thank you so much for that. That's very nice.
So I'm pretty sure you must have been born singing a harmony. Was there ever a time that you didn't sing?
Do you know what? I was quite late to singing. For me, it didn't really happen until I was about 16. So I was writing songs. Yeah, exactly. And I actually would say that I just couldn't sing. And I remember my neighbor, when I tried to sing, she would just be like, "Be quiet, shut up." And I'll be singing in the bathroom because there's good acoustics in the bathroom, of course. Yeah, she was never happy about my singing, to be honest. So I sort of did it privately so no one else could hear. And then obviously that changed a little bit later on in life.
Yes. So I often get told to just stop 5 minutes, whether that be singing, talking, or asking questions that literally have no answer. So was this something that your mum said to you frequently?
Yeah, I think that sometimes, especially, you know, singing is kind of dreaming and it's escapism, isn't it? Like, just everyone loves music. And if you get a chance to go to a theater or go to a gig, it's like a special occasion. Like it's like not everyone gets to do that. And I think you can take it for granted. If you go, a lot of my friends are in shows. I've got friends in who are going into Wicked soon. I've had friends in Book of Mormon. I've got friends that are in Frozen, you know, and so it's incredible when I get to see these people do such incredible things. And wow, every single night. I feel like the thing about singing every single night freaks me out. I used to do it every night, and you have to be really disciplined. And I don't know if I am sometimes.
So reality TV, as we all know, is either something you love or something you hate. So what made you make the decision to go on the X Factor, which obviously you went on to have a huge career from, and is it a route that you would recommend to other people?
I think it's always down to the individual. So when it comes to doing any reality TV, it's like, how much do you want to do it? How much do you like the show? Do you know stuff about the show? Do you think about if things go well, if things don't go too well? You know what I mean? Like, you can do an audition and it could be absolutely rubbish, but it doesn't mean you are. It just means that your nerves became too much. So I think it's down to the individual and how you're feeling at that time. For me, I got into it because obviously it was on TV. One of the things, if you sing and there's a TV show like The Voice, Britain's Got Talent, X Factor, they say, "Oh, you should do that. Why don't you do that?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm not brave enough to do that. I don't think anyone would really care." And I remember I used to be a teacher. So I remember one of my students, and I always name him, his name's Sam Chapman. And he was just like, "I think you should do it." And I was just like, "Really?" He was like, "Yeah, I think you should do it." And from that, I just went on and did the show in 2009, and the rest is on YouTube. No, I didn't say that.
Yeah, I know you went on the X Factor, not The Voice, but you do have to consider also things like on things like The Voice. Well, I need to consider like the incredible Matt Croak went on The Voice, but his voice is amazing, but he just didn't have the right voice for any of the judges that were on for that series, because you've got to think, well, are they going to turn for me because are they the type of people that do they have the same sort of voice as me too?
I think when you do those sort of shows, you might need to adapt how you sing for them. So if you're going to sing on The Voice, singing a musical theatre song, unless you just completely change it upside down and make it poppy, you might not get the turns. But it doesn't mean you're not talented. A friend of mine called Tom Reed Wilson, who is actually from Reading.
I love Tom Reed Wilson.
Yes, we love Tom. Tom's incredible, right? And an amazing man.
So lovely.
And I learned so much from Tom, because there isn't a request that I've asked Tom that he hasn't just done, and without a fuss. He's just like, "Yeah, cool, no problem, I'll get that done today." He's just lovely. But the one thing about him, he auditioned for The Voice, and then he didn't get through because they didn't understand him. It's on YouTube. But someone in the audience was working for a TV show, and it's called Celebs Go Dating, and I think it's on E4. And he's a receptionist. he got that job because they saw him at that audition. So just because you don't get what you want at that moment does not
Yeah.
mean that that's your career over. Right now, obviously, I'm knocking on people's doors and ringing to people's doorbells. People don't expect that from me, but that's just what's happened in my life. I've done radio and I've done all different bits. So singing is one part which leads to other things. And I love that because I can always go back to singing.
Yeah, because musical theatre got me into interviewing, which got me into presenting and also public speaking. It's all of those different things can branch out, but you can still have the opportunity to go back to the thing you love most.
100%, 100%.
So you were working as a drama teacher, as you've already said, when you went on the X Factor. How did your life change after that?
Yeah, I mean, it's quite funny. It's, you know, when you go on a TV program that was watched by as many people as watched, it was 2009, so I think the audiences was around 12 to I think the final was like maybe 15 to 18 million people. I mean, that doesn't happen as in figures unless like a royal is getting married or something like that, or like the end final for Wimbledon. But it's life kind of changed very quickly, but I still have the same friends that I have before. So if I get a bit above my station or think I'm a bit special, they'll be like, no, you're not. And sometimes I kind of need that. They're not doing it to be mean. They're doing it because sometimes like you're still the same person from before, just people know you a little bit more. You know, you must know what that's like. You know, a lot of people you've got a lot of attention from so many different people. You've been on so many different shows. Loads of people love you, but your friends are just like, oh, you're just still Charlie, yeah? You're like, yeah.
And my parents.
Yeah.
No. Like, yeah. So,
They'll bring you down to earth. They'll bring you down to earth.
yeah, definitely. So did you have any formal training growing up? And was the stage where you always saw yourself?
Yeah, I mean, so I went to like amateur theatre companies. I started when I was living in London, quite young, probably about 10. And I think it was called Stars or Constellation. I think they changed the name. And I kind of loved that. I sort of did judo on the side. So, you know, I've got to try and keep fit in the playground, you know, just in case people think singing when you're younger is not the easiest thing to do at school, is it? No, it is not. But in the end, oh, well, secondary school is a little bit more challenging. But if you're good and you do really well, everyone will want to be your friend anyway. And, you know, they all want to come see you when you're in the West End, in like whenever that is going to be, which I can predict very soon. And so it's one of those things that just feeling through life and just enjoying it and not worrying about what other people think. And that's what I try not to do. And I try not to worry about other people's thoughts about me. And I love performing and being on stage. And then I joined a theatre company when I moved to Reading called Star Maker, and they really helped me. And then from that I went to Arts Ed in Chiswick.
Oh, awesome. We love Arts Ed.
Yeah, it's a brilliant triple threat or quadruple threat now school, because they want you to play a musical instrument as well. So
yeah. So what was it like the day you finally got your first big break?
So it's quite funny because they film it and then it goes on TV 3 months later. So you just go back to life. So all that stuff happens and stuff, and no one really knows the people apart from people in the room and in the audience. And so when it came on TV, I was on holiday at Centre Parks with friends, and life changed very quickly because all of a sudden there was just like people outside our villa, and they're just like, "Hi, can I have a picture?" And no one had really asked for my picture before. That'd be very weird if some people just came up to me and asked for my picture. And so in that moment, it just changed. And I think what you have to do, you become more patient. You know, sometimes things are not, people are not, they don't really know how to come and say hello. So they might be a bit sassy, and they might say things that are not nice, but they don't mean to kind of, you know, they'd be like, "Oh, my friend likes you, but I don't know who you are." They would like to say that, but that's not to say they disrespect you. They actually may not know who you are. So, but yeah, so I think I became a lot more patient, which is a good thing to be.
Although I think the worst part is when people don't come up to you and ask you for pictures, but instead just try and make it seem like they've asked you for a picture and like just take pictures, and that's like, just come up to me and ask me for a picture.
Do you know, I would just say, just embrace it. And do you know what? Do you know how scary it is? Do you know how scary it is to kind of go up to someone and ask for a picture? Like, it's super, super scary. And I think if we put it into our minds, it's just like what that feels like. If you want to take a cheeky little picture, I'll just go, and then that's it. Like, I don't really mind. I think that people are not doing it because they're rude. I think they're doing it because they're shy. And I think they're doing it because they don't know how to just go, hey, I really like you. Can I have a picture? Because they're scared that you might say no. You might be having a really terrible day. You haven't done your homework and you're like, oh, I'm stressed about that. And then someone goes, can I have a picture? Or you're tired, or you didn't get that audition or whatever. And you've got to just turn it on and just go, yep, it's fine.
Yeah. So you are very open about your battle when you were younger with cancer, as I am with my hearing loss. Do you find that you have become a magnet for people asking for advice, or just a friendly air? Because I spend most of my week responding to messages about that type of thing, or like bullying and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the situation, when I was younger, I had a couple of things that went on and stuff, and I had 2 cancer scares. I actually didn't have cancer. It was kind of written that I did, but one of the things that happened is that it just having to have examinations, having to have mini operations and stuff like that, all those sort of things, and you're going for it right now. It's super, super scary. But do you know what? The great thing about it, and I love that you put stuff out, because anyone else that may be struggling or maybe feeling alone, they'd be like, wait a minute, you're going for it. I didn't know this. Like, or they just checking to see if you're okay, or they just like your picture, which is sometimes enough. Because you know what? If everyone wrote a message to everyone who likes a picture, I'd never be off my phone, which I'm never off my phone anyway. But it's really important to just, be vulnerable. And if you're struggling with anything, your health, your mental health, just in life, it is great to kind of sometimes put it out. And then other people be like, hey, I didn't realize other people felt the same way. It's a bit like bullying. Some people don't realize that other people get bullied. When you're getting bullied, you don't realize that other people are getting bullied. So I think it's really great to be like, hey, and the stuff that you're doing is just incredible. And I think that you are a really great spokesperson for so many people who can't speak, and are not brave enough to.
You have gone on to do many singing and TV jobs, but how did you end up working for the Postcode Lottery? And is it incredible when you knock on the doors? And do they have any idea that you're actually coming?
There's like 50 questions in one. Okay, here we go. So, yes, I've done loads, which has been incredible and an amazing journey and stuff, and hopefully loads of stuff to come. But the main thing for me was when I got a phone call from my agent at the time. They said, there's this lottery thing and they want you to go and sing at an event. And I was like, okay. And I got there and they said, we just want you to sing one song. I was like, okay. So there's like 1,000 people there. Loads of people won money, and I got to sing at this wonderful event and sing one song. No idea what it was. And then my agent phoned me up again, and he was like, oh, they want you next month. I was like, okay, cool. And then he phoned me up again. They want you the month afterwards as well. I was like, right. And then all of a sudden, I'm sort of doing all these events all the time. And then they asked me to come and do some work for their charity. So I was like, that's great. And we did it for Ellen MacArthur's Cancer Trust. So we take kids who have had cancer and we take them sailing for like between 4 and 5 days. And it's incredible. So we went there, made a film and stuff. And then the bosses at Postcode Lottery saw it. They must have not thought I was rubbish. And they said, would you like to have a job? So I started working for them, and to knock on people's doors and see their life changing in front of my eyes is incredible. Just anyone who has any worry, because everyone worries about money a little bit, you know what I mean? Like they want to buy stuff, they want to, they don't have stuff, whatever, things are breaking. And especially as a parent, it's relatively quite stressful for people, or the grandparents and stuff. And I get to knock on their door and say, hey, you've just won at least £30,000. Their faces are like, I've had people scream in my face. I've had people fall to the floor. I've had people just have no words whatsoever, which is incredible. But what I love about the job is that you can see people's dreams and wishes and stresses. Like the stresses disappear and the dreams come true. And it's one of my favorite jobs. I've done some amazing things in my time, playing in front of some awesome audiences. But my favorite thing is just working with the public. It's just so incredible, and I feel very, very lucky. And also we have a song that is always in people's heads. Someone's knocking on your door, somebody's ringing a bell, which will now be in your head forever. Sorry about that.
Already is. Oh, my must need to ask you a quick question. So she does a postcode lottery. And the other day she won £10. You think you could come knock on our door, present the check? Here you go, £10.
It's easy for you guys because you live locally. So yes, I can definitely come around and give you a tenner. It's fine. There you go.
So I met you recently at the Friday of Reading Awards. How did you become involved with such an amazing thing?
Well, it becomes amazing because we have winners like you, to be honest, and I think that you create such a moment and such happiness in that room. And I think there's loads of things going on. It's a bit of a topsy-turvy day. There's smiles and there's tears that happen. And I've been lucky enough that I've been invited since 2010. So it's been 12 years. I haven't missed one because I can't, because they're incredible. Exactly. So there you go. So it's been as long as you've been alive as I've been going. So that's a great way of making anyone feel old. And so and it was incredible. So obviously I sang a couple of times, and then kind of just got involved behind the scenes and helped with the wonderful Hilary Scott and Sally Swift that just do such a great job, and the rest of the team that are behind as well, and just put this great, very professional but very heartwarming event on every single year without fail, apart from last year because everything was going on in the world was all over the place. So, and it just makes me feel so proud to be from Reading. I've lived all over Reading. I've been in Wokingham. I'm in Theo right now. I've been in the middle of Reading. I'm from Caversham, and I was even in Woodley. So it's like an amazing.
Where it came from.
Everyone from Woodley, wasn't it? And it's just amazing an event, and to have people like you and people like Dexter to do what you do. It means that I have belief in the next generations coming through, that there are people that have kind hearts, that think about others, and also are not afraid to say I'm struggling today. And I think that's really, really important.
Oh, thank you. So hashtag Cheer Up Charlie is now coming into its third year with no sign of slowing down, just growing bigger. But even though we are raising so much awareness, it's not enough. So many messages still come in weekly, and I do realise that it is up to the new generation that, as you just said, are coming through to make the changes needed. But do you think we can get over this negativity around the arts and what we choose to do and what we wear and who we choose to love?
Yeah, I think every single year, every single decade, even though we might emphasize on that, I think that it's getting better. And think about it this way, right? Say it was 50% bad. And so there's 50% good, 50% bad. And say we're now at 90% good. There's still 10% bad, but we've also got 40% better. And I think what we need to do is we need to focus on how far we've come and then how far we can go. Don't worry about right now. It's too easy to worry about right now. Just think about where you want to get to and how far we've come. And you'll feel a lot better. In the end, I've always said, if you have anything that you're biased against, maybe have a friend the thing that you're biased against. So if you don't know any Black people, maybe be a friend with a Black person. If you don't know any gay people, maybe be friends with a gay person. If you don't know any women, maybe be friends with a woman. If you don't know trans people, if you don't know anyone who likes dogs or cats, be friends with them. Because the element of most people being biased is because they have none of it in their life and they have an idea and they're not exposed. But after exposure to anything, everyone is fine. You know what I mean? And it's those sort of things like people say, I'm not really a cat person. They just never owned a cat. Because they might be, and it's very simple. And I think in the end, people are more likely to stick up for minorities than not. And in the past, that hasn't been always true. But I think now that don't let one person in a room of 1,000 ruin your day.
Yeah. Well, I must say, I'm very sorry to all cat lovers out there. I'm still biased. I don't.
It's just maybe you need a cat. Maybe you need a cat. That's all you need.
But really, if you think about it, unless that cat lives in your house, like
Yeah.
unless you have a house cat, do
Yeah.
you really own a cat? Or does
No,
the cat
they
own
own
a
you.
food bowl? Or does the cat just own a food bowl inside your house?
Well, I think it owns the food bowl, but it owns a human. I think cats are the only animal to domesticate themselves. They just go, we live here now. We live here.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Or we'll come back whenever we need, but we'll just go now.
It's like teenagers. You'll find out very soon. It's fine.
So, have you ever suffered any negativity or bullying as a child or in your career?
Yeah, 100%. Like all you have to do is especially back in the day, all you have to do is look at your messages, your mentions, and you can look at comments. You could, but the element is, I've always asked myself this question about anyone who gives me a hard time ever. Would I change my life for their life? And the answer is always no. And when that is the answer, then I just don't care. Because I'm okay being who I am, whatever I do, walking my dog, whatever. If people have any opinion about me or whatever, I really don't care. Because no one actually really cares. Like, it's so easy to want to say, I don't like this person when you've never met them. It's so easy to have an opinion about people that you are not friends with or are not part of your life. But if people just write stuff down, yes, it's mean. Yes, it's not what you want to see. But my thing has always been this: never read stuff that you don't want to read. As soon as you have it in your mind, you will never forget the worst thing you've ever read about yourself or the worst thing that anyone's ever said to you. So I just ask other people not to tell me, and I just don't read comments, even good or bad. Like, if people write me a message in a sense of oh, we'd love you to do this event, that's different. But if I put out a video or put out something on Instagram or YouTube, I tend not to read the comments, because there would be, I don't know, say there's 100 comments and there's 5 bad ones. Guess which one I'm going to remember? I'm not going to remember the 95 good ones. I'm just going to remember the 5 bad ones. So if I just don't read them, then they don't exist to me. And people are just yeah, but that's people still being mean. But I'm not giving them a response. And then they get bored and then they just move on.
Mm-hmm. So, if you give yourself some advice as a child, knowing what you know now as an adult, what would it be? And let us be honest, would your younger self actually listen to it?
No, of course not. And that is a very good question. I think my thing I would say is buy Bitcoin. No. And what? Come on, you got to think about investments for when you're older. I think I would have said
invest in Tesla.
Invest in Tesla, buy Bitcoin, invest in Amazon. Yes, buy posh watches. I think I would say to myself, just nothing really matters apart from the thing that you want to do. And so many people will tell you can't do it. But what they're really saying is that they can't do it. You can do it, right? So just do whatever you want to do. Be the person that you want to be. And whoever loves you and support you will love you and support you no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Another piece of advice for your younger self: if you get any old packets of Pokemon cards, make sure you keep the cards. They could be worth something now.
Did you sell any cards? Is this what you're trying to say?
No, but I have one. I could.
Yeah, keep it.
So, if you could perform with anyone, who would it be? Because I would love Shakespeare to write me a song, and then I would sing it. Hannah Montana and Neil Sedaka.
I mean, wow. I don't have an answer like that. That's incredible. Well, mine's a little bit of a cheat, but I think it's because what they have done since. But I absolutely love this performer. She has gone on to be in every single West End show. I think there has been and she's just about to go into Wicked as well. She was in Waitress, she was in Ghost, she was in Les Mis, she was in We'll Rock You, and she was also in Eurovision. And she did quite well for us, which we don't do very well. But she was also in X Factor in my year, and she was a very loving, wonderful person, and that is Lucy Jones. And her voice, how she is a person, is amazing. And there was a video of us, we get to sing You Were Not Alone with everyone else from the X Factor show that year, but me and Lucy got to sing a certain part. And it makes me laugh every time, because in the video, I think we had to do about 14 takes, because all we had to do was look at each other, and then we just had to go out to the camera. But in the end, we just had to go out to the camera because we just laughed every single time in each other's faces while we're trying to mime to this track. But this girl has the most incredible voice. And she has already gone far. She's achieved more than she could ever possibly dream of, and now she's going to have a dream role that she thought she had in Waitress, but now she has in Wicked. So yeah, Lucy Jones would be my top pick.
Nice. So now I know you are perfect, but do you have any gross habits that the world does not know about?
I saw you ask Tamsin outright this, and I don't want to say anything too gross, because you properly outed her with a clip of that on Instagram. I do not bite my toenails or fingernails in that way. What's that? Oh, okay, that's fine. Sometimes I just take off my socks wherever I want in the house, and they're just anywhere. There's just socks everywhere in this house. Now, I don't think that's gross, but the main reason is my puppy, which is, by the way, just over here asleep, being very, very well behaved. There you go, Lois. She loves a sock. So she kind of helps distribute them all over the place. So I'll just have them in one place, and she'll throw them all over the house. So normally dirty socks all over the house. Not normally smelly, maybe sometimes, depends if I go running, but dirty socks is probably my worst thing. That's not too bad, though. That's not too horrible.
Not too bad, but it's still... So, you seem like the type of person to play tricks on set. What is something that you have done that no one knows about until today?
Okay. Well, they do know, because I did tell them, but I'm not out. But it happened a long time ago. I pretended to fall down the stairs and really badly hurt myself, and used prop blood at work once, and they called the ambulance. Well, they went to call it. I did get up in the I took it too far, Charlie. I took it too far, and I went. It was funny. April Fools. It was like 7:30 in the morning, and I fell down the stairs at work, had fake blood, and just didn't move. And they were like, "Oh my god!" And like, I could tell how much they really loved me. Like, there might be work colleagues, but they really cared, and they're really worried. But then I got up, and I think me just standing up freaked them out even more, and they were very. I mean, they didn't speak to me for the rest of the day. Let's just say that.
Surprised you didn't. I'm surprised they didn't make you actually fall down the stairs.
It's push me. There you go. Fine, thanks.
Yeah. So, what is next for you? Because I'm pretty certain you need to do some solo shows with special guests. And I'm here. There is a local boy who would love to join you for a number.
Well, there is talk, so I'm going to be doing a show in Reading called With a Little Help from My Friends. So maybe we can get you on board with that. That would be amazing. So we've got a couple of meetings, so we can get you in.
So now for a round of quickfire questions.
Oh, okay. Here we go. I'm ready. Right, cool.
Where would you go if you were invisible?
I would go to my friend's house and just stare at him and freak him out.
Okay, interesting. Really interesting.
He's kind of weird though. He's weird. It's fine. Don't worry. It's fine. It's very strange. I don't know what he does when he's at home. Like, I'm like, what do you do? I think he just plays computer games, to be honest. I'll just be finding that out.
Okay. Favorite shop?
Oh, favorite shop. I love like a bakery. Anything that has loads of bread and sort of cakes and stuff like that. So any kind of bakery.
I'd recommend Aldenstein in London. If you haven't been there, go there.
Oh, very posh. Very nice.
Amazing. It does like the best like pastries and everything. They're really good.
Okay, I just went generic when it came to bakeries. You had like an actual place. That's good. I like it.
Childhood book.
Oh, anything by Roald Dahl, but probably George's Marvelous Medicine. I thought it was great. Also, you can make potions and stuff, which is quite fun.
Yeah, at Christmas time, I got like a George's Marvelous Medicine kit, and it came with like edible, and it would make, you could like make edible potions.
Amazing. That sounds great.
But
That sounds like a
much
great present.
one ingredient into one thing. Horrific.
Yeah, probably don't drink it. It's fine.
Yeah, no, probably not. Favorite city?
Oh, I love Barcelona because it has a beach and like a town, like city stuff as well. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Last song downloaded.
Oh, last song downloaded. Oh, there's a singer, she's sort of jazzy singer called Leanne Le Havas, and she's got a song called Green and Gold, Green and Black, but it's incredible. It's an incredible song. It sounds great. So if you're ever having like a chilling out time, you're in a spa somewhere, get on some Leanne Le Havas, and then you'll feel like you're on a nice chilled spa retreat.
Okay. Favorite place to eat?
Oh, favorite place to eat. I very much love anywhere that sells halloumi burgers. So there's a place called Alto Lounge in Caversham that I go to. There's one in Woodley as well called Bosco Lounge. So yeah, anything that's got halloumi in pretty much.
Yes. There's one in Wokingham called Sedero Lounge.
There you go. See, there you go. So,
good.
yeah.
I really like them. Yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm.
Where were you born?
I was born in Hillingdon Hospital. It's like you're trying to get my bank details. What's going on? I was born in Hillingdon Hospital in June 17th.
Nice. And last four numbers on your bank. Yeah, I'm kidding.
By the way, very quick. I like that. That's what works. Very quick. Just say whatever and like that. It's good. What's your mother's maiden name? Let's just find this out. It's all good.
Yeah. What's your address and social security number?
It's all good.
Best childhood memory.
Oh, best childhood memory. Do you know, I used to go rollerblading in Hyde Park with my parents, and that was really cool and quite bougie. I feel like for back in the day, just being on my rollerblades. So yeah, that was probably my favorite childhood memory.
I don't rollerblade, but I do roller skate. Me and Mum have like a pair of retro roller skates. We both have one.
Nice.
And that mine pink has a light blue.
Nice.
There's a really nice area up by our house, and we roller skate up there.
Incredible. That sounds good.
For Christmas, I also got a skateboard, so I've been teaching myself to skateboard too.
Yeah, man. You just got to practice. Practice makes perfect with that, so it's fine.
Yeah. Well, because I have roller skated before, I did quite surprise myself with the way I could stay on the board without falling off.
Well, well done to you. I don't think I'll be able to do that. I definitely would fall off.
But yeah, so I've done a bit of, I do stuff like that. That's cool. I like that. So thank you so much, Danyl. We have managed to get through all the questions. You survived.
I survived and didn't out myself too much. My stinky socks as well. Sorry about
that. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Not the worst we've ever heard. Not the worst we've ever heard.
Yeah, I've seen.
So yeah, I guess you're free to go. Thank you so much, Danyl. Bye.
Keep up the good work. See you, Charlie. Bye.
Thank you. Oh, what another amazing episode of Musical Shares with Charlie. If you want to see more videos like that, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. And also go follow my Instagram. So keep being kind to yourself and others, and keep letting your light shine.